Welcome to the Inside Silverstone podcast, a business-focused podcast covering all things tech, engineering and innovation. Hosted by me, Chris Broome, a huge tech, motorsport and gaming fan, and also the owner of Longhurst, a firm of lifestyle financial planners and independent financial advisors located in Silverstone, Northamptonshire. This is a series of unscripted and unpolished conversations with leading business owners, thought leaders and high-tech talent where we discuss their experiences within the Silverstone business and motorsport region. We will also be asking them to share their knowledge, insight and their thoughts on the future just for you. If you're looking to learn more about the Silverstone high growth region and commercially connect with like-minded peers, you've definitely come to the right place. Welcome to Inside Silverstone. Welcome to the next edition of Inside Silverstone. My name is Chris Broome and I am your host today. I am delighted to finally welcome onto the show a good friend of ours, Julie Stewart from recruitment specialist TD Group. Julie, welcome finally to Inside Silverstone.
Good morning, Chris. Thank you very much for having me.
Absolute pleasure. And as I was just saying off air, you look beautifully colourful and bright this morning, very vibrant, and you've got a phenomenal background drop to your Zoom video today, promoting your SME nomination last year for, what was that for? Business of the Year, customer service?
It was customer excellence. So
Bravo.
It was, we're nominated. We were nominated very, which is nice to have, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we're recording, this is series 5 now of Inside Silverstone. You're going to be episode, I think it's 77 or 78, something like that. And the focus of this series is called sort of hashtag COVID catch up for pretty obvious reasons, where we're going to be doing short 10-minute, maybe 15-minute, quick fire conversation about, in this context, TD Group, what you guys have been up to, life in Silverstone, what your customers and clients are experiencing, etc., etc. So I'm going to open up with, how are you guys doing? So we're in this is what month are we in? 6 or 7 of
yeah, absolutely. So month 7, I would say, isn't it? So
month 7, we've got on Monday coming, it's going to be a further restriction, 6 people maximum, sort of socially distancing together. How have the TD Group sort of been and responded over the summer?
It's been tough, to be fair. When lockdown was announced, obviously all our clients, we've had 2 major clients were in travel and car leasing. 2 of those sectors just completely stopped recruiting. Yep. Obviously everybody worked from home. They were furloughed. People, staff, and it basically dropped off a cliff. We were working on probably 8 or 9 roles because we're quite a small business, so working on probably 8 or 9 roles at the time. They just completely stopped. So the recruiters got in touch with us and said, Julie, really sorry, we're all working from home, we're not recruiting, put it on hold for now, and we'll be back in touch. Hopefully it'll maybe to be 2 months, maybe more. Yeah. And now we're in our 7th. So, that was that was a bit scary, obviously, for us. And we're very lucky to run a business that we're not hand to mouth. So we had a bit of a buffer. Obviously, we were very lucky to continue and try and market ourselves in a different way. Obviously, Silverstone Park were asked to help with the PPE shortage at the time. So, and because I didn't have much to do, I offered my services to Pim and Roz, and got involved with that. And that was really good to do, because very intensive 3 weeks of focus, because it took my mind off of the other catastrophe that was happening. So
what were you doing? So what was the Silverstone Park PPE project that you were involved in? So what was it?
We put out a call to suppliers of PPE for the NHS, because obviously there was such a shortage. Yeah. And contacted probably 40, 50, maybe 60, probably 40 or 50 businesses actually got back in touch and said, yes, we can help. So I was coordinating with Pim all the names of those, what they could provide, the prices, the timelines of how long they could deliver, etc., etc. So there was a really long spreadsheet
Yes.
of businesses and items. I mean, it was incredible, to be fair. The response was great. We had a list price of body bags, we had masks, visors, and obviously a lot of the people on the park KW projects and a lot of the other engineering companies stepped up and started making masks as well. So there was, we could put them in touch with those people, and we were sending them directly to the clinical lead of the NHS. So, and she was the one actually monitoring all the PPE that was coming in. So it was very rewarding, I must admit. Sleepless nights.
Yeah.
I woke up one morning, Saturday morning at 5 o'clock, thinking, oh my God, I haven't sent that email to that person. So I got downstairs and I was sending like emails at 5 o'clock on a Saturday morning. So because it was just a window that we had to get it out there, and it was just, so important. So
a critical role in the production of PPE. So, naturally anxious.
Big responsibility.
Yeah, loads of responsibility during a time when, your main business was also looking for ways of coping during, a very unusual moment in life, right? So, fair play for you for stepping up. A lot of most people wouldn't have done that.
It was a good distraction, to be fair. And it was nice to be able to give back, and help the NHS, who were doing such a fantastic job. So
they still are, and
they are.
Over the next few months are going to be called upon a little bit more. So
I think you're right.
So fair play. And so so let's focus on TD Group. So how are because you've really got your ear to the ground, because you are working with both employers, so businesses, as well as recruits, so people looking for new roles. So how are businesses, in your opinion, sort of reacting? Are you seeing green shoots? Are people sort of just being really conservative and holding back? Is there optimism in the air?
Yeah, I think there definitely is. I'm a forever optimist anyway, to be honest, Chris. But I think over the last few months, we've been asked to benchmark salaries with some of our clients. There has been some new recruitment happening, which is great. There's a bit around risk, strategy of people coming out of this, businesses looking to experts that can help them with the strategy and the risk and the risks that they face in the future. So it's starting. There are green shoots, definitely.
And what about recruits? Are you saying, my brain would be naturally thinking you must be getting swamped with new recruits wanting to find work because they're either being furloughed in fear of being made redundant, because that could be inevitable, through to those that have already been made redundant, through to even people that are fully employed but are now thinking, I'm not actually happy in this role, I don't really fancy going back to that office and doing that 2-hour round trip commute.
Absolutely.
What's the crack?
There's a real mix of that, to be fair. I mean, initially a lot of the contractors were made redundant or let go. So we had quite a bulk of contractors come to us to say, if you've got anything, just let us know. And then there was a lot of people that had been furloughed. So they come back and they were sort of looking for something else, if you like. And then there was the others that have worked for a company for many years and being made redundant, been furloughed, but then being given notice of redundancy. So there's a lot of different, there's a bit of a mix of all of those. And I think we've heard stories about applications of engineers, engineering jobs. They've had 15,000 applications.
Wow.
For some of those.
Wow.
Yeah. So there were 10 jobs, and the company that were recruiting, the phones were ringing off the hook, and there was 10 jobs, all the same, and they had over 10,000 applications, and they found it very difficult, because usually, in recruitment, when we have a contract role, our phones don't stop. Because contractors are very on the ball, they're very proactive, and they ring you straight away. And that makes our lives easier, to be fair, because if there's a good one that rings up, then, and that's what I would advise, to be fair. Or maybe maybe those recruitment agencies say don't do that, but no, I would advise anybody looking for a job, if they see something they like, ring, because sometimes it can get them ahead of the curve, if that makes sense. And yeah, so we've had a few of those, but it's definitely a client-driven market, obviously. And there are jobs out there, but I think it's and obviously the furlough scheme's coming to an end in October, and I think there'll be another wave of redundancies, unfortunately. But I don't know.
So for those potential recruits out there, what would be the sort of top 2 or 3 tips that you would provide to make themselves look as attractive as possible in that first instance? Because if I'm an employer and I'm sitting there looking at 10,000 applications, I'm going to go square-eyed looking at all of that. And so what would you be suggesting is how as a potential recruit would need to really hone in on with the presentation of their CV or a cover letter, or what would
I think the profile is really important, because that's the first thing a recruiter will, well, me personally, I'm not saying, talking for everybody, but I think the profile at the top of the CV it should be your window of opportunity to sell yourself, really. And those 3 or 4 lines or that paragraph should tell that employer what they're looking for, what type of personality you are, what your skills are, what you're looking for, what type of job, and within that sentence, and then obviously it follows your history and your skill set, your education, etc., all your training. I would recommend to say, if for instance, if you're a software engineer, I would say, I am a software engineer with this, and this. I am looking for a company within these locations, and I would tailor it also to the job that you're applying to. So as long as obviously you have all the key skills and the experience for that particular job, I would tailor it for that role. So and I would say I am a keen, whatever that title is, and it's all AdWords, isn't it, Chris? I mean, there's a lot of algorithms that go on with CV searches. I mean, we don't do that, to be fair, but there's a lot of companies that do, so it's it depends on who they're applying to be fair. So if they're applying directly to the company,
make it as easy as possible for an employer, a potential recruitment company, to find you and go, actually, this person might be worth speaking to.
Yes.
In a nutshell. Cool. And so TD Group, over the next sort of 12, 18 months, what sort of plans have you got for marketing and promoting your services?
We've been very proactive with marketing, to be fair. We're using the services of Carl McKellar. He's CMC Marketing. He works on Silverstone Park, does a lot of their PR as well.
Yeah, great.
So he's been very kindly helping us with that. He's done a number of case studies for us. So interviewed our clients and candidates that we've worked with over the last 15 years, more local, more recent ones as well, and captured some really interesting interviews, actually, which I'm going to have I'm going to do a blog with Carl later on, just to explain what those sectors are. So that's charity sectors. That will be car leasing, that will be software development, all those different sectors of clients that we've had over the years, legal as well, and engineering. And also, as I say, we're gathering the case studies, we're putting them onto the website. We're going to do a real push in the next week or 2 to get them out there and get people linked in with that website, and this podcast will go on the website as well, obviously. And
we could start, an idea could be, you could launch your own podcast. I know a few recruitment companies that are doing that, where they go and obviously interview the clients, so that the employers, but also potential candidates, because ultimately that's stuff that people will want to listen to. So anyway,
yes, it's something we thought about. We're just, I don't know, we've just never done it, so I suppose we're a little bit scared.
That's fine. Well, anyway, so I'll talk to you off air about how to do it. I've coached a number of people into launching other Inside podcasts within my peer group. So anyway, back to TV Group. So just interestingly, so a question flew into my head then, what sectors do you cover?
Right, so IT and finance has always been our main sectors. I mean, I'm from a background of commercial recruitment, so I've done across sectors, to be fair. I've done retail, logistics, construction, you know, all those. So I'm sort of years of other sectors as well. So when COVID initially before COVID, we were going to go into engineering as well, because obviously we're on Silverstone Park.
Yeah.
You know, it's a great opportunity for us. We've been here 4 years now, and we've worked with a number of our neighbours, which has been great, and want to expand on that really. So engineering, we've been doing a lot of recruitment with innovative companies on Cranfield and university and Internet of Things, 3D printing, also, and other engineering type things, digital, and also we've done some contract manager roles, which are legal roles. So more in the legal sector but for an IT managed service company. So we've been doing those, and also, as I say, finance is one of our bigger ones. So IT, finance, engineering, legal, and one other, can't remember.
Good, great, Julie. Thank you so much. I'm going to start wrapping up the show if that's okay, because I know you're very busy. So, a couple of quick closing questions. The first one is sort of life beyond COVID. So let's pretend it's 2021. We've all had our vaccinations. What are you personally looking forward to doing the most that you maybe can't do at the moment?
Well, obviously a holiday.
Yeah.
That would be nice, sitting by a pool or on a beach, you know, in the sunshine, and being able to just dip into a pool. I mean, I've been lucky. I've been doing stand-up paddleboarding just recently.
Nice. Where'd you do that out of interest?
At Barton in Northampton. So I've been I had a lesson. Catherine, who works with us, Catherine Dack, she's got her own board, so she's encouraged me to do it, because she said, I'm going paddleboarding. I said, I'm coming with you. And we did it on Brogborough Lake, actually, for the first time I'd ever done it. And I actually stood up, and then the wind almost blew me off and to the reeds, and it's quite an adrenaline rush, really. It was such good fun that I did it again I've done it a couple of times on the river in Earls Barton, and we actually did meditation. So we dropped the weights on the boards, and it was such a beautiful day, really hot day, and obviously very calm. And the lady that took us, Kelly, guy us up, she's called, and she literally read out a meditation, calm reading, and we just laid back and relaxed, and it was amazing. So I would recommend it to anybody, to be fair. So I want to do more of that.
Post-COVID, a nice holiday, and during COVID and beyond COVID, lots more meditation on paddle boards. So that sounds really, really good. I'm going to talk to you about off air, actually, because Louise was talking about trying to do paddle boarding, and
I can recommend somebody, because where are you based?
Toaston, near Toaston.
Oh yeah, so Earls Barton would be fine for you.
Yeah, half an hour away. 20 minutes away. Good.
Yeah.
Right, last question, Julie. So this question took years and years of academic learning to think about, and traveling the world, speaking to different cultures, and we came up with this final question, Julie. I'm going to give it a little drum roll. From TD Group. What is the king? What is the king, or maybe even the queen, of crisps?
I have one,
Okay.
which I love. So it is the Sensations.
Lovely.
Okay, and it's the mango and red chili chutney poppadoms.
They are.
You with me?
They are very, very, very good. That's such a good suggestion.
They're up there, aren't they?
They are definitely up there. We've had a variety of different suggestions from some of the leading people in our peer group, Julie. including vegetable flavour crisps, which I'm sure taste very nice. But yeah, I think mango chili flavoured poppadom sensations is definitely going to be in the top 3.
Yeah, I could eat a whole big bag of those.
Yeah, I think I could probably, what's the time? Yeah, it's 2 minutes to 10. I could probably do the same thing right now. Julie, Stewart, thank you for being such a good sport and coming on Inside Silverstone. Delighted we finally got you on the show. I think this has been a year or 2 in the making. So
it has. So I'm sorry, Chris. Yeah.
Apologise. We're all very busy.
We got there in the end.
We got you on. We got to speak about TD Group. So for those listening to this, TD Group are recruitment specialists, recruitment experts. They are based in Silverstone Park. They are part of the Silverstone Technology Cluster. They focus on, as Julie mentioned, a number of different sectors, including engineering, which is part of our world, but also legal and finance, which is an accountancy, which is also a little bit of my world. Julie's
and IT.
And IT. And so basically we will be leaving links to TD Group and Julie in the show notes. And so if you want to reach out and contact them, whether you are a potential client, i.e. a business, or a potential candidate, these are the guys to go and speak to. Yes, including if you just want to get some advice on how to make sure you are as attractive as possible to a potential employer.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're here to help. We can do benchmarking. I mean, this is all a service that we can offer, for free, to be fair. We charge when we place people, but we're happy to work with people if they need any help beforehand anyway.
There you go, listeners. So that's it. So Julie's offered to provide some support if you need it. Julie, Stewart, thank you so much for coming on the show.
My pleasure. Have a good day, Chris. Thank you.
The Inside Silverstone podcast is produced by the team at Longhurst for the benefit of those with a passion for all things tech, engineering and innovation. For more information, please visit longhurst.co.uk/Inside Silverstone, whilst also remembering to give us a 5 out of 5 star rating on iTunes. Please note that neither Chris Broome or Longhurst work for Silverstone Park, Silverstone Circuit or Silverstone Technology Cluster.